let me show you my wild tatum that came up this year. Now these tatums, what I'm noticing about these is that the seeds seem to winter over and they'll just come up on their own. So what I do, I'll show you really quickly. You can see these are like last year's tatums. I was going to make birdhouses out of these, and I probably still could. And they're pretty, I don't know. They kind of got moldy a little on the outside, but I'm going to drill a hole in them and maybe make a birdhouse. But that was last year's size. You know, you can see it to my hand. Let me show you what these are doing this year. And they're really popped up in like 2 or 3 different places on my yard. So this is a tatum that came up on its own. It's a wild tatum. Oh, well, it's a native tatum, but it grew up volunteer, wild, whatever you want to call it. And look at the stem on this thing. Now, this tatum was severely attacked by vine borers, and it didn't kill it yet, but you can see, like, right now you can't really see it too much, but here's a little leaf wilt and droop, and that's not the wilt disease. That's the actual vine borers that caused the death of some of these branches. Like you can see right here. See where I pulled that off? See inside that stem? That's filled with vine borer beetles, or borer, the maggots. That whole inside that stem is basically filled with maggots. You're going to have that up here where I live anyway. They pretty much just survive that way, and you know, the plants they just learn to deal with it. But this tatum vine is like, I mean, I grow a lot of different things around here. Pumpkins and squash and zucchini and melons and all those kind of plants that have this type of plant structure. See, you can see where they make the entry, the vine borers. They're all over. This thing is completely infested with vine borers. And then I get, of course, you know, I get like this thing, you know. And that is I think that's what you call a cucumber beetle, squash bug or something, cucumber beetle. Well, they're around and they do damage. But what I'm trying to say is that these wild tatums that now are starting to come up on their own every year, they produce and they're able to start outpacing the diseases and insects that attack it more than the damage they can do. So it's pretty incredible. But I'm going to show you something soon. I just want to show you. I got some tatums coming up over here. There's one coming up there. I knocked 1 or 2 of them off with the lawnmower accidentally because this thing is growing in the middle of my yard. Ouch. Here's one. Now, look at that thing. Looks like a gourd, doesn't it? It's the way gourds look like that. This is about the size of last year's tatum. Yeah, I knocked this off with the lawnmower accidentally. I was going to cook one of these. I was going to cook that because people are telling me, yeah, you can eat them when they're small. I don't know. After eating that, trying to eat one of those last year, the taste was so bitter and awful that I can't see how you could eat that. But let me show you this one tatum that's coming up over here. Now, I'm pretty sure this is tatum. I don't know if this is a pumpkin. I don't know. But look at the size of this thing that came out. I mean, this thing's absolutely enormous. Look at it compared to my hand. I mean, this thing's as big as a pumpkin. Okay, and that's supposed to be a tatum? I'm pretty sure this is all the same plant. I know that the other ones are tatums, like what I just showed you, and I think there's a few more growing around here. They're popping out somewhere here. Look how big this vine is, too. Look how big this vine got. Now, normally I try to push it around and get it out of my way and everything, but this year being it came up wild, I figured I'd just leave it. But I don't know. I don't see any others. There was 1 or 2 more in here somewhere. There's one down over here somewhere, too. I think maybe right in there somewhere. There's a couple of them in here. They're small, yeah. I should pick them and do a taste test on it, but really don't want to. But yeah, look at the size of this one. Look at the size of this thing. I mean, this thing's absolutely enormous. This thing's got to be 2-3 pounds, 4 pounds at the size of that thing. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll just harvest. I don't have any pumpkins this year because the pumpkins didn't make it. So maybe I'll put that on my porch instead of a pumpkin. I'll put the tatum out. When I do a harvest video, if I do one this year, because I really don't have much to harvest. A lot of things just didn't develop correctly, and I've been feeding off it pretty much as I go. So it's not like I'm coming up with one huge harvest, and so I've been eating the stuff throughout the season. But yeah, I just wanted to show you this absolutely enormous size tatum that I have. I'll show it to you compared to my foot. Look at the size of that thing. It's just huge. Man, that is interesting. It could have hybridized with something else, but I don't know what else. I'm not growing any pumpkins or anything. So, yeah, it's just bizarre. But yeah, it's really fighting off the vine borers. Really did some damage to the stem on here. I mean, you could see the stem on it. It would have been absolutely enormous. Would have been huge. I mean, in general, I mean, look at this. Look at all the vine borer damage. It's incredible. And yet this thing's still growing. It's amazing. This is an amazing plant. Again, I don't know how to actually eat these things, but I just let them grow because they come up on their own. I'm not even looking to plant the thing anymore, to tell you the truth. I'm just letting it grow and do its thing, and whatever it does, and it's fun to look at and let grow. But it's this thing here that's growing up the fence, which I never planned on, is now crowding out my artichoke that's growing in the back, and I want to try to get that to produce an artichoke, you know. Quick look at my wild tatum that grow around here, and here's one of my ones that got knocked off, and that's it. I'm not doing a taste test on this thing again, I can tell you that much. That was absolutely horrible. So anyway, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. All right, take care now.